What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. It's Dave from the Cream Real Estate Investors YouTube channel. And today we're talking about destroying and really preventing self sabotage in our life. Let me give you a quick update on the real estate front. Nobody has made more mistakes that I know of in the residential flipping and real estate and buy and hold rentals. Nobody has made more mistakes that I know of than me and my business partner, RJ. We've made a tremendous amount of mistakes. And a lot of the mistakes were cultivated and created when I was not being the best version of myself. What I was doing, I was drinking. I used to drink heavy. I have a massive addictive personality. I talk about this openly. I used to drink a lot and do drugs, cocaine and Adderall. I was basically addicted to Adderall. And this led to karma. This led to me making a lot of bad decisions. And the bad decisions with the real estate business, it ended up really just trying to avoid the work and avoid the fear, probably carrying around fear of facing challenges. And what I used to do, and I call this scaling the business inappropriately, because anything that I was not good at or I just didn't want to face, I would hire somebody to face it for me. And that is not the way to build a company, everybody. You got to face these things head on. You got to at least understand what's going on, or you can't hold anybody else accountable if you don't know what is going on. I, for years, lived with my head in the sand. I was just completely blind because I didn't want to face things. And that led to a lot of debt, huge burdens. It led to, in my career, I've been bankrupt before, back in 07 and 08. I've experienced audits before. This was also back in the 07, 08 when I failed my first time at real estate. And then massive foreclosures. I had at one point over 50 properties, 50, in foreclosure behind on payments. I used a portfolio that I owned as collateral for a much bigger deal that I was involved in. Should have never done the deal, right? This is all looking back. It's like, why did I do this stuff? It was from ego, right? What is the number one real estate ego thing? It's like, how many doors do you got? How many doors do you got? Nobody's asking how much money do you make. It doesn't matter how many doors you have if they ain't making any money. And I was so focused on growing, but not focused on what's important, which is profitability. And it almost ran me into the ground. I'm grateful to let you know, though, the last 2 years I have spent cleaning this crap up. It's like I come to the office every day for the last 2 years. And same with RJ. We're thick as thieves. Me and my guy, RJ, he's right here next to me. We're doing this. And we show up to the office with a machete, and it's just like the brush. We're just in the bush and just hacking the path forward. And it's been a hell of a journey the last 2 years cleaning this stuff up. We have flipped and or sold 189 plus properties, numerous more in escrow right now. And this has just turned us into absolute beasts in the real estate business because it's made us massively efficient. It's made us massively profitable. It's turned us into better business people. You got to learn from the adversity. And this goes back to the personal development. So if you're new to the channel, lots of videos on here about real estate and the real estate business. Lately, last month or so, I've been completely into personal development and sharing my personal development journey. And hopefully you get some value from that as well, in addition, because really that's where it all starts. When you do this work personally, then you're going to be more successful in your real estate business, your relationships, your health. The reason I failed so dramatically numerous times in the real estate business is because I wasn't the person you need to be successful. Personally, I wasn't the guy. I was afraid. I lived in fear. I tried to outsource the things I was afraid of instead of facing them. And that's an absolute killer right there. We've got to face it. And this is really, truly the work. But today we're talking about self-sabotage and really how to prevent it. And now here's the thing, everybody. This goes hand in hand with facing the work, right? And facing adversity and overcoming challenges. We live in a society today which is insanely easy. Yet, many of us, I used to be the worst at blaming and complaining. My goodness, guys, everything I tell you not to do is because I was the worst. I was far worse than you. Blaming. Such a low vibration, so negative. Nothing was my fault. Ego, right? I lived this way for years, everybody. But we live in this society where everything is super easy. I'm communicating with you through a video right now. You could be in Bangladesh, you could be in India, you could be in Ireland, you could be in Australia, you could be in the United States. It doesn't matter. You can hear this guy in Columbus, Ohio communicating with you. What amazing communication we have, right? We live in this world where we can accomplish so much with truly such little effort, right? Communication, information is shared so easily. It's incredible, right? Our ancestors, however, what got us to this point, they didn't have it so easy, right? They had to hunt for their food. They had to build shelter. They had to hopefully survive the winter. It was insane, right? For thousands of years, people struggled and they had to fight. They fought illness. We have incredible medical technology in today's present day, medicines and everything, right? Our lifespans are longer than ever before. We got it good, right? You're hungry. You go through the old, hopefully you're not going through the drive-through, but you can if you're hungry, right? Just go to the grocery store. We got it. You don't got to go hunt. When was the last time you went and hunted a chicken before you ate that chicken wrap? You didn't, right? It's done for you. It's done for us. We got it really easy, but it is ingrained in us per our ancestors and from our ancestors to fight. We are survivors and we are fighters and we are warriors inside our soul, right? You are a soul. I'm a big believer that you are a soul. You don't have a soul. We're all spiritual beings having a human experience, but we're tough, in our genes, in our wiring, in our condition, in our brains. Like, we are built to last as human beings. And, we are just ready to overcome challenges, but our life is so easy right now in today's present day. We just don't have a lot of the same challenges that we used to have. So what happens is, if we do not self-induce challenges, if we do not take on challenges consciously, meaning building a business, building a relationship, building a family, right? Building a body, building health, right? If we do not self-induce challenges and adversity into our life, in reflection and self-reflection and overcoming challenges within ourselves and being the best version of ourselves daily and fully committing to this, right? Our subconscious mind is going to create adversity for us to overcome, and it's going to come in the form of self-sabotage. It's crazy, right? Think about the subconscious mind. I don't know all the statistics that, it's 90% of your life is created by your subconscious. It's not even your conscious. I believe there's a lot of truth to that. I'm a huge believer. I'm a huge student of Joe Dispenza. You got to get into some Joe Dispenza, everybody. He is the man, but he talks about the wiring of your brain and how we create our reality, the quantum field. I love it all. I'm so far down the rabbit hole, it's not even funny. I love the teachings of Abraham, Esther Hicks, right? Your inner world creates your outer world. This is what all the spiritual masters have been teaching us this whole time, right? It's also true. So the inner world creates the outer world. Well, the inner world is built to survive and built to fight. And where do we learn all of our lessons from? If our soul's purpose is to learn, grow, and expand, which it is, this is what I believe our soul's purpose is to be. If there was one regret at the end of somebody's life, what would it be? I didn't do enough, right? I didn't grow, right? I was lazy. I was lethargic. The biggest middle finger we could give to the divine, to God, to the higher power is not utilizing the gifts that we were blessed with. Sitting on the couch and eating Pop-Tarts is a sin because we are not taking care of this vessel that we've been blessed with. Our soul has this amazing vessel. We must maximize it and ride this thing till the wheels fall off. We're built for it. So if we do nothing, if we are lazy and lethargic, our subconscious mind is going to create challenges for us to overcome, because the soul wants to overcome challenges. The soul needs to overcome challenges because that's the only way to expand. That's the only way to grow, right? To elevate. The only way to elevate and to learn is through overcoming adversity. So how do we self-inflict adversity? How do we self-induce positive, productive adversity? Well, this is the goal. It starts with the wake up. Napoleon Hill, everybody. If you just listen to one person, Hopefully you listen to my videos. That's cool if you do, because I'd love to communicate with you. And you can DM me, right? DM me on Instagram at therealdavep. Let me know where you're at on your journey. But I love Napoleon Hill. If you were going to listen to somebody, listen to Napoleon Hill. He is a beast. He's the guy that wrote Think and Grow Rich, but that's what he's most known for. He's got a ton of stuff out there. Outwitting the Devil, Spiritual Laws to Success. This guy, he just breaks it down. It's so simple, right? Napoleon Hill said it today. I was listening to some audio. I love, and listen, you're on YouTube, obviously, because this video is on YouTube. Sign up for YouTube Premium. Clearly, I'm not getting a piece of it, but I'm telling you, YouTube Premium's legit because you get no commercials. And it's only $15 a month, and there is so much good stuff on YouTube, right? And if you could just listen to it, and another benefit of the YouTube Premium is you can turn your screen off. So if you're listening during a workout or something like that, you don't need to have your screen on your phone, right? But I was listening to some Napoleon Hill today, and he's like, the early morning hour, and I love this. God, I love it. The early morning hours is the altar of God, and you either approach it with sacrifice or you approach it with excuses. It's that early morning wake up, guys. This is the separator. It is the game changer. The early morning wake up is God's altar, and you either approach it with sacrifice, meaning self-inflicted adversity, ideally through a workout. That's what I do, right? Or excuses. And it is prime time for excuses right now here in the Midwest where I'm at. Why? Because it's headed into fall season, and this is when we all sleep with those windows open. It's nice and brisk in that room when that alarm goes off at 4:15. My alarm goes off at 4:15. The room is chilly. The blankets are warm. Ooh, there's that adversity. Here comes that negotiation that we're built with. It's that, thing telling you, wouldn't it be nice, to sleep in and whatnot. When we wake up early, that is God's altar, right? And we approach it with sacrifice. Here we go. Stepping into the adversity and overcoming adversity. It is so powerful because you now are overcoming adversity and you're going to feel proud of yourself. There's ancillary benefits to waking up super early. It's got to be uncomfortably early, right? So if you're somebody who's like, well, I'm perfectly content. I wake up at 7. 7's a good time, but you got to make it. This is the sadistic part of this personal development journey we're on. You got to make it uncomfortable. I'm telling you, the more adverse it is to you, the more proud you're going to be when you stick with it. That's what we're going after here, everybody. There's ancillary benefits, of course. You're going to have more time, of course. If you go to the gym and work out, of course, you're going to have physical changes to your body. Of course, your blood oxygen levels are going to change and you're creating longevity. That's all the beautiful, wonderful stuff. But I'm talking about the stuff that's going to change your life right now, here today. Those are all the long-term benefits, the health. It's important. I'm in it for the long haul, right? But the most important thing is how you feel right now in this present moment, because that's all we truly got is the present moment. So when you overcome adversity first thing in the morning, waking up uncomfortably early, getting on your feet, doing a little self-reflection and then getting your body moving, you're going to be so damn proud. And now when you become that person, you do it consistently. If you're like me, you got to do it 7 days a week. There is no off day. There is no cheat day. That's that addictive personality that I carry with me, right? I'm the type of person, I don't trust myself. If I slip a little bit, I'm the type of person, I'm like, oh, it's over. I end it. I can't do this anymore. It's like weird. It's crazy. I'm such a all or nothing individual that I cannot slip. I can't slip, guys. I will be devastated if I slip. And what does the slip mean? It means not fulfilling the commitments that I've set for myself, right? There's really 5 commitments here, everybody. Number 1 is that early morning wake up. Number 2 is the workout. Number 3 is the diet. Number 4 is the self-reflection. And number 5 is the vices. If I was to not fulfill a commitment with any one of those 5 things, I'm just so hard on myself. I'm the hardest on myself. So we must fulfill these 5 obligations. This is my daily routine, and it's going to work for anybody. And this isn't even me, guys. This is spiritual wisdom, right? In every holy book, what does it tell you to do? Eat nourishing foods. What does it tell you to do? Stretch your limbs and move your body, right? The best way, it's a sin to be lazy, right? The lazy person, I don't know. I need to research more spiritual book and Bible stories and Torah and Quran. I guarantee they talk about the lazy man doesn't get it. No, because it's showing that you don't care and you're not grateful for the day and that you're not grateful for the blessings that you have. Gratitude is movement. Gratitude is action. And then overcoming adversity makes you proud. And when you're proud of yourself, right, you're going to be vibrating at a higher frequency. You're going to feel more confident. That is that real confidence, everybody. It's overcoming the adversity and feeling so proud of yourself. But when you overcome self-inflicted or self-induced adversity, it doesn't leave room for the subconscious to create these undesirable moments, these undesirable things. Self-sabotage. That's what self-sabotage is. And you know what Dispenza talks about is we create the self-sabotage in our life. We actually become addicted to it. We become addicted because the chemicals that are released in the brain when we're suffering, we become addicted to suffering. It's insane. You got to research it yourself, but it's the truth, right? So let's change our addiction. Let's become addicted to fulfilling our word to ourselves and feeling proud of ourselves. That releases certain chemicals. This is how this works. When your feelings are nothing more than your brain releasing certain chemicals, and it's like you feel a certain way. This is how it works. Well, those chemicals are addictive. And that's why we can find ourselves in a downward spiral where if we're constantly, self-sabotaging, we could literally become addicted to it and just keep living the same life over and over again. Maybe, you're in this terrible relationship and, your life sucks. And you get out of that relationship, finally, it made a change. What happens to a lot of people, their very next relationship is the same. It's just the essence of it, right? It's the same, but it's different characters in the play. It's wild, right? So how do we manifest a positive life? It's going to come from the way we feel. Oftentimes in many spiritual and personal development books, what do they talk about? The 3 main things: thoughts, feelings, and actions. Well, I'm going to flip that on its head and say actions, feelings, then thoughts. We cannot positive think our way into action. We can't lay around at 4:15 in the morning when the snooze, when the alarm's going off and positive think our way into being proud of ourselves. We have to act. Those feet got to hit that floor. Is it easy? No. That's why it's adversity. That's why we act despite how we feel. How are you going to feel? Cold and tired. What do you want? Warmth and sleep, especially now, right? But when we act, remember, actions, then feelings, right? And then your thoughts are going to change. And thoughts are things. So when we take the action despite how we feel, you are destroying limiting beliefs. You are destroying procrastination. You are an absolute beast when you are acting in spite of how you feel. It is the best, everybody. This is the greatest personal development thing we can all do. Act in spite of how we feel. I don't feel like it. No shit. None of us do. None of us do. But we act in spite of the way we feel. And then guess what happens when you act and then overcome? Now, how do you feel? Proud. Self-worth. Self-love. Boom. Self-confident. It starts with the actions in spite of how we feel of this. What are we acting towards? Our self-adverse or self-induced adversity. So we're acting, getting to the gym. We're acting to wake up early, taking the action of waking up early, taking the action to get our blood moving, get that oxygen to our brain, right? Taking the action of doing our self-reflection. Where do I need to be better? 2 sentences, everybody. Where do I need to be better? Write it down. I got my journal. Every day I journal, but it's a few sentences, a few words, a few bullet points. This isn't supposed to be chores here. This is supposed to be action and momentum. right? I'm not telling you guys, oh, we're going to wake up super early and we're going to be like Zen Buddhist and we're going to like meditate and stare into a candle and visualize. I just never got the I never got the value from that, guys. I just didn't. That's not me. I'm just extreme. Where do I visualize? Where do I feel good? When I'm murdering a huge set of burpees. That's what I do every day, every single morning. Hundreds of burpees. And it's hard. But then it gets easier because you enter flow state. Once the oxygen starts flowing and the blood starts flowing, you legit enter what is called flow state, where you just feel like you can keep going. Right? I love that. Right? I do. Today I did 10 sets of 20 over the bar and threw some runs in between the sets. So I would run like 200 meters, 20 burpees over the bar, run 200 meters, 20 burpees over the bar for 10 rounds. So 200 burpees total. First 2 rounds, sluggish. That's the adversity. I don't even know if I can do this. That's what's going on. Then about round 6 and 7, you're like, I'm fucking unstoppable, right? Because now guess what's happening? The blood is flowing and the oxygen's flowing and you're entering flow state and you are moving. It is so important when we're feeling the adversity, especially in the first couple rounds, or like when we're first getting the engine started, or when we're first getting out of bed, that's when the adversity is the thickest. That's when we're first coming over before flow state. Pre-flow state is like the war, right? That we go to war with. That's when it's so important to focus on what Napoleon Hill talks about as your auto-suggestion or your affirmations. I never got a lot of value from staring at myself in the mirror and saying, I'm a champion, I'm a winner. It just doesn't land. You're saying the words, but you're not feeling the feeling. The best time to do auto-suggestion and positive affirmations is in the middle of your set of burpees, in the middle of your workout, in the middle of that stair climber, in the middle of where you're feeling it. You're feeling the burn. You're feeling like, well, what's going to happen here? Am I going to quit or am I staying with this thing? Right? So what we must do is create this self-induced adversity, overcome it every single day, leave no room for self-sabotage at that point. Right? You're going to feel proud and you're going to feel worthy. It's going to create self-trust. You're going to like yourself, love yourself, and trust yourself. And that is what's going to make you unstoppable. And then you're going to keep moving that needle. You're going to keep making it a little bit harder, just a little bit. We don't need to go too crazy. This is what we do, especially people like me. All right. I'm going to start this personal development journey. So today I'm running 10 miles and I'm going to starve myself. And yeah, that's called good luck because you're probably going to fall off. We ain't going for the one-hit wonder here, my friends. We are in it for the consistency. We're here for the consistency every single day. Never miss, never miss, never miss. Especially if you're wired like me. I can't miss or I'll burn the whole damn thing down. That's really what happens for me. So everybody, we are overcoming and preventing self-sabotage through creating our self-induced adversity. Overcome that. Just know you are worthy. You are going to be building upon your self-worth. You're already worthy, right? Because you're a spiritual being having a human experience. You're a soul. You don't have a soul, right? You are a little speckle of God here to create. And you're going to create through your actions. Your actions in overcoming things are going to create that positive feelings. And that's going to create that positive thoughts. And thoughts are things. And then just reciprocal at that point. Now you're thinking positive. Now you're going to take more action. And then you're going to feel better. And it's like this upward spiral is what we're creating here, this momentum. So with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I love you all. And I'll see you all on the next video.